I'll show you where the bid modifier options are, and then talk about how to avoid using too many bid modifiers. So within the campaign, you're going to see the option to adjust your bid based on user location. Okay, these are all the locations this campaign is targeting. If I want, I could increase the bid for this location by as much as 300% compared to our standard bid, or I can decrease it. Okay, if I go to add schedule, I also have the ability to increase the bid or decrease it for a particular day of the week, or if I want to segment this out further, I can increase the bid at certain hours of the day. Okay, so schedule is another option to adjust bids. I can also add a bid modifier for devices. So I can bid higher or lower for people depending on whether they're on a computer, a mobile device, or a tablet. Okay, I can also modify the bid for remarketing lists. So if I add a remarketing list to the search campaign, I can adjust the bid for people on my remarketing list. Or if I want, I can adjust the bid for people based on their demographics, either male or female, or based on the age group that they are in. Okay, I can adjust the bid higher or lower for any of these. So you can see there are lots of places where you can modify your bids. Now, if I were to add if I were to increase the bid by 25% for all of those places, what Google is going to do is add all of those together. So it would take 25% for location, 25% for a certain time of day, 25% for mobile, and 25% for female. Okay, if someone happens to be in that location at that specific time of day on that type of device and they are a female, Google is going to add all of those bid adjustments together and it'll come out to a bid adjustment of plus 100%. So you usually don't want it to get that high, but there are ways around it. So for the most part, these are good things to watch and adjust your bids when, if you notice that mobile is doing better than computers, you might want to adjust your bid and increase mobile bids. Or if you notice a certain time of day is doing better than others, then you can adjust your bids there. But if you have too many adjustments within the same campaign, that's where things can start to get a little out of whack. Okay, like in the example I just described. So the way around that is to split up your campaigns some. So you see in this account, I've made a peak campaign and an off-peak campaign. So the peak campaign has this schedule. Okay, you can see our ads are showing at these hours, which is business hours when this business would be able to answer the phone. The off-peak campaign has this schedule. It's the opposite schedule. Okay, this is outside of business hours. Notice I don't have any bid adjustments for any of these times because I'm actually have different bids for the ad groups and the keywords themselves. Okay, and that allows me to use some of the other bid adjustments and adjust bids for device, location, demographics, all that stuff, knowing that my bids for the time of day are already separated. You can take this multiple steps further, so you could have a peak mobile campaign and a peak desktop campaign, plus an off-peak mobile campaign and an off-peak desktop campaign. Okay, so if you have, the time to do that is when you have a campaign that's performing significantly different between mobile and desktop. That's when it would be good to split up that campaign. For now, I've just split up the peak and off-peak into 2 campaigns, but you can take that as far out as you want to go. If you're only adjusting your bids by 5 to 10% for some of these options, it's not going to be as important to split up campaigns like this. In fact, it may make things more complicated for you. But if you're going to have significant bid adjustments that may cause some of your bids to double or triple when they're added together, you need to be really careful and consider splitting your campaign into multiple sections like I've done with the peak and off-peak hours.